So, VIM. Yeah. If you've ever opened it by accident, you probably remember that moment. Blank screen, no menus, no hints, just darkness and a blinking cursor. That's how it starts for most of us. The first stage, denial. You don't even realize you're inside a text editor. You just think something's broken. You panic. Nothing makes sense. Typing doesn't work the way it should. It feels like you've been dropped into some hacker's cursed playground. And eventually, like most people, you Google how to escape. That's your first interaction with VIM. Pure survival.
But then something happens. Maybe a friend mentions it, maybe you see some cool hacker in a movie flying through code. Or maybe you read a Reddit thread that says real programmers use VIM, and now you're curious. You go back. Willingly this time, you think, all right, let's figure this out. That's when the anger sets in. You start realizing how different it is. There's no normal typing. There are modes. Switching between them feels like learning how to walk again. Simple things like moving around or deleting a word somehow become puzzles. And just when you think you've figured something out, you break something else. It's frustrating. It makes you feel stupid. You start hating it, but something keeps pulling you in. Then comes the bargaining. You say to yourself, okay, maybe I don't need to master everything. Maybe I'll just learn the basics. So you try to get comfortable with the bare minimum. You learn enough to open, edit, and quit files without crying. You're not confident, but you feel a little better. You even feel proud for not giving up. Maybe you tell someone, yeah, I use VIM now, even though you're still opening Google every 5 minutes. You're surviving, but you're definitely not thriving. And then the crash. Depression. You try customizing it. You touch your config file, suddenly VIM doesn't look or behave the same. Stuff breaks, features disappear, you try fixing one thing and end up breaking 3 more. You stare at your screen and think, why am I doing this to myself? I could just go back to something simple, something that works out of the box. And for a while, you might actually go back. You might abandon VIM and call it a failed experiment. But if you stick around, if you push through, something amazing happens. One day, you open it up and it feels different, familiar, comfortable. Your fingers move naturally. You're not thinking about how to do things anymore. You're just doing them. Everything is smooth, fast, clean, and it hits you. You're not using VIM anymore. You're flowing with it. It becomes part of how you think, how you work. That's acceptance. That's when you finally understand why people love it. You start to notice how slow other editors feel in comparison, how bloated they seem, how many clicks it takes to do something that you can now do in a second. And that's the funny part. At first, VIM feels like a punishment, but eventually, it becomes freedom. Pure, efficient, minimal freedom. And hey, if you're into this kind of thing, diving deeper into how computers, tools, and systems really work, you might love cybersecurity. I actually made a beginner cybersecurity guide for people just getting started. It's super practical, zero fluff, and it'll walk you through the mindset and tools you actually need. If you're curious, the link's in the description.